Hi, welcome to Weld.com. I'm Beau Wigington, and today we are going to be making some new rails for the front of our house. So my wife, she would really like to have a railing that connects these two pre-existing beams. So that is what she has designed. So the top and bottom pieces are going to be solid rails. We've got two dividers here in the middle. The cross sections are going to be our rounds, and then the boxes in the middle are also going to be made out of the square tubing, and I'm going to be notching those out so it fits snugly, and I'll show you how we're going to do that here in just a moment. But if you're anything like me, you might not always have access to getting a full bar, so you have to get it cut down at the steel yard. So what I'm going to be doing is finding out how to remake the entire bar out of these 72-inch pieces. So I've done my calculations here, and the top and bottom are going to have to be 136.5 inches. And so to get that, I'm going to weld both of them together, but we're going to be taking 7.5 inches out of one of them to make sure it is the correct length. So we're going to do that right now. So this right here, I'm just grabbing those measurements, going across. Next, we're going to get the measurements of how high it's going to have to be. So what I'm getting right here is going to be the measurement of the height of the actual rail. I want to make sure that it is going to look nice with the pre-existing rail we have here. So just making sure we're going to line it up flush with this other railing. So what we're going to do, we're going to be getting our measurement here. What I do with my soapstone is I grind it down into a nice little point here. That way when I mark out where our 7.5 is going to be, take my straight edge, I'm going to butt that up against it so we have a nice straight line, nice right exactly where we want it to be. Measure that again. To make this be exactly 7.5 inches, what we're going to want to do is actually cut it right on this side of the line, so we're not going to take off extra material with the chop saw. The next thing we're going to have to get are these measurements here, which came out to 28 5/8. So we're going to mark out two of these on one, and we're going to cut those out. 28. So that one, we want to make sure we are cutting right on the line so that it is the right length. Today I'm using the Lincoln Electric 210 MP. My wire feed speed is at 185 and my voltage was set at 17. Here I blew a little bit of a hole because the fit up wasn't 100% correct. So whenever you blow a hole, just wait for that metal to cool down a little bit, and I'm just doing small tacks to try to fill in that hole. Here I'm using a flap disc by Benchmark Abrasives. It's going to be an 80 grit flap disc. I'm using it to try to blend the metal together so it looks like it's always been one solid piece. So we are just about to weld in one of our first dividers. We're going to divide this railing up into 3 and then put our kind of intricate design in the inside. But as you can see right here, We've marked our center line. We know it's 1 inch tubing, so we got 1/2 inch, marked our tube there. Our first divider, the center line for that is going to be 45 3/8. So we have that marked here. And just line up center to center, and then we're going to go ahead and tack it up, weld it out, and then we'll attach the other side and go from there. Here I have my 2 armor tool clamps. The thing I like about these is that you can clamp them down with one hand and you don't actually have to adjust the tension on them. It just automatically does it. But I'm using them to clamp everything down so we get a nice flush fit with the top rail and the divider. So a quick way that I've learned to just miter quick edges is I take a couple pieces of scrap angle iron, I tack them to my table at the desired angle. Right here I've got a 30-degree angle from the end of this left one to the end of the right one. Got that 30-degree angle. And then I actually just stick the material in there. I'm going to go ahead and clamp that, and then I take a grinder and just shave that on down to the desired angle. So here I've already drilled a hole that is going to be 3/8, and now I'm actually taking a tap that's a 1/4 tap, drilling it into the hole so I can put those threads in there that I can attach the bolt. This is the same process over on the other side. You just want to make sure you take this nice and slow, but you don't want to go too hard on these because sometimes you could strip out the threads. Alright, our railing is all installed. We went ahead and bolted it to the pre-existing pillars, and we drilled holes into the concrete using a hammer drill, and then used some anchors to secure the bases. We changed the design a little bit. My wife wanted a sleeker look, so we got rid of the boxes we were going to do on the inside and just went with the dividers as they were. But if you have been in the pickle that I was in, where you're working in a small space making a bigger project and you didn't really realize it until the end, tell me how you fixed it in the comments below. Also, go over to Weld.com, become a member. There's tons of forums over there, tons of people to ask questions, and I'll be over there too. So until next time, we'll see you out there.